I want pure colors, melting clouds, accurately drawn details, a sunburst above a receding road with the light reflected in furrows and ruts after rain. And no girls. This was Vladimir Nabokov's wish regarding the cover art for his most famous and most controversial novel. The difficulty of publishing a book like Lolita, not to mention the difficulty of how to market and sell the novel, has been consistent since its first publishing in 1955. The original publishers, Olympia Press, discarded the problem entirely by displaying nothing pictorial at all. Other editions of the novel took a similar approach. However, by 1962, matters changed as pop culture started to consume and interpret the novel in new ways. Stanley Kubrick's movie of Lolita marks a clear change in the attitude of book publishers. How did they ever make a movie of Lolita? Turns out they didn't. Though I don't want to give a complete summary of either book or movie, 1955's Lolita is a disturbing and deceptively written novel about a man, Humbert Humbert, preying upon and sexually abusing a 12-year-old child. The movie, on the other hand, is played as a dark comedy, bringing up Lolita's age to 16, and the abuse is only vaguely implied. This disconnect between movie Lolita and book Lolita is what fuels popular consciousness and continues to inform book marketing. From 1962 forward, the promotional image of Sue Lyon in the heart-shaped sunglasses taken by photographer Ben Stern is easily the most significant culprit. Once this image became associated with Lolita, it really didn't matter that it was a terribly inaccurate portrait. It became the image of Lolita, and it was ubiquitous. Book publishing took a cue from the movie. After the success of the film, Lolita had become a sex symbol. At the heart of all this seems to be the desire to make the sexual aspect of the novel more palatable. It's ironic that, in attempting to make aspects of the novel more palatable, film and book marketers were overtly sexualizing a child character. Designer Peter Mendelsund argues that, in attempting to sell a book, designers must, not always, but sometimes, pander to a public that on occasion lacks the interpretive subtlety to parse literary subtext. That is to say, if the general reading public expects a schoolgirl or a schoolgirl uniform on a Lolita jacket, then book buyers and booksellers will also be expecting a schoolgirl or a schoolgirl uniform on a Lolita jacket, and one can then reasonably assume that marketing departments and publishing houses will want them as well. In the end, going backward upriver towards its source, even editors begin to take their cues from misinformed readers at large. Dieter E. Zimmer's online gallery, Covering Lolita, where I found most of these book covers, offers a fascinating view of Lolita's publishing history, ending with contemporary publications. Still today, designers must contend with the question of how to depict a character who is seen entirely through the eyes of their abuser. In Lolita, the story of a cover girl, edited by John Bertram and Yuri Leving, this issue is posed to a number of artists. Unrestrained by commercial demands, the designs confront the subject in a number of ways, usually indirectly. Some artists focus on objects relating to Lolita, some focus on the language of the novel, however most never attempt to portray the character in a direct way. For example, this design plays with the idea that Lolita is impossible to portray on a book cover. Even the word is blurry and distant. The design that really stands out to me, however, is this. For years, Lolita has had her identity stolen and transformed. She has been the lurid object on a book cover as seen through the eyes of her abuser. But in this design, what appears to be Humbert Humbert displayed in his monstrous reality is finally the subject. The name and persona of Lolita is just a manifestation of his sickness, and we finally see the true subject of the book. For whoever is responsible for marketing and selling the novel, publishing Lolita will always pose a problem. After all, it's an incredibly nuanced, incredibly deceptive narrative, and popular culture has not treated Lolita the character with much nuance. In some ways, it's almost a curse that such a novel should become so famous and to become subject to such misinterpretation.